Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to share with you my favorite baby knits. And these are not my favorite baby knits to make, but my favorite baby knits to use. I've been planning this video for quite some while. I wanted to make sure I had enough experience with dressing my daughter in homemade knits before I started sharing with you, because I was quite certain that the favorite things to knit wouldn't be the same as the favorite things we ended up wearing. My daughter was born in the summer, so it did take a while until we really started using the knits. We started somewhere around autumn, early autumn I guess, and now that it's winter we are using them quite frequently. So I feel that now I know enough to share some with you, and she has been through several seasons. She's been growing, so I can kind of tell what we used in the beginning, what we are using now, and so you can get an idea of what is practical to spend your time making. I hope this video will inspire you and give some answers, and either if you are expecting a baby yourself or if you are knitting for someone else. I do understand that this video isn't for everyone, so if you want to skip this one, I won't mind. But if you are planning on gift knitting this Christmas or for someone's baby shower or anything, I think you will find this video useful. Also, I am going to add a kind of disclaimer to this video, and that is that I will be showing a lot of petite knit patterns for this video. Now, I don't think you need to buy all of these patterns in order to make pieces that have the same functions as the ones I'm going to show. So I do hope you are able to see like the function of the piece more than the specific pattern. I really enjoy petite knit patterns for baby clothes. They are easy to understand. I enjoy the fit of them. I think they are practical. I also enjoy the minimal look of them because I don't like too frilly baby clothes. I find them kind of impractical. And also I don't want to be making baby stuff with like loads of lace and stuff that is so time consuming, and maybe the piece end up not being worn as much, or it's not practical, it doesn't fit in the right season. So I prefer knitting stuff that, yeah, it's a bummer if something doesn't get worn, but I didn't spend like months doing it. So let's just jump right into it. I have my trusty notes in my trusty app, which I will be referring to. So let's begin. The first I will show you is a set. This is the Seaside set by Petite Knit, which we ended up wearing so much. This set in particular I actually knit for our niece a couple of years ago, and my daughter inherited it now when she was gonna be born. I'm going to close the buttons here. This is knit in some Sunday whipped cream and some burnt orange from Knitting for Olive. I find those to be nice together. This yarn does pill a bit because it's so soft, but also it pills because she wore this a lot while I was carrying her and she was sleeping in the carrier, so when you get that friction you will get some pilling. I found this piece really versatile. The size range is really good, and I've made this set for newborns quite a lot. This is one of my go-to knits when I do baby gift knits for others, mostly because of the buttons, because it's so easy to get over baby's head, which can be kind of intimidating when you have a newborn, especially if you are a first-time parent. So yeah, this is just really enjoyable to knit and really enjoyable to use, and I found that all of those who I have gifted one of these to, I can see from their snaps and photos that it does get a lot of wear, so it's truly worth your while. These pants are also really versatile. They can be worn in the set or just on a baby grow or something like that. So yeah, you can also just knit the pants, or you can do just the sweater. Next up on my list is any kind of raglan sweater. I found that the raglan sweaters just fit better than the ones done in the round. This might also be because my baby is kind of small, so she kind of drowns in like those more round pieces. So this is one example of a raglan sweater for a baby. This is the Baby Bear sweater by Petite Knit. I knit this in 2 strands of Sunday. This was before Double Sunday was released. I find that 2 strands of Sunday pill less than Double Sunday. Probably just because they get twisted much more and it's just sturdier kind of. So if you have like scraps laying around, you can do 2 strands. This is done in, the contrast color is scrap yarn. It looks like this. It's just simple raglan construction, easy. And also I have these tags inside to show the size and that it's supposed to go on the wool wash in the washing machine. These tags are really common in Norway and probably Scandinavia, I guess. And you usually do your child's name, so when you send it to kindergarten they know who it belongs to. But I ordered a load of these to iron in, so when I gift or for myself I know what size it is. So for the next kid I will know what size it is. I'm quite organized that way. Also, a lot of these pieces will tend to fit in like at different points than you expect. So I know that they say size up for babies, but sometimes don't size up. Sometimes just knit the size they're supposed to be. Yeah, and even then it might be too big. Next up are the Mio strapped leggings. These are also a fingering weight pant with a foot and straps that go from the middle and go out like this. This has been one of my absolute favorites to wear recently on my daughter. I didn't expect it because this was lying half finished, or not half finished, it was almost done. I just hadn't sewn the gusset and I thought to myself, well, I might as well do it. I have some time now this evening, I'll just do it. And ever since I did sew it together, she's been wearing this to pieces. Like I have had to repair this already and it has like holes on the toe and on the heel and everything because it's starting to be too small. So my only regret about this is not knitting the next size, because when you do something with feet, with the little foots like this, they will grow out of it faster. But I found this so practical now that she's crawling and it's winter. I can just put this over whatever she's wearing and she will be wearing both pants and socks at once, and the socks doesn't follow because baby socks are a nightmare. They just slide right off. This is from Sandnes Garn, Soft Start. I did check the number. Soft Start 2108. So it's been out for a while. I do see that Sandnes now has a newer version of the Soft Start booklet with a ribbed version of this. So if I were to choose, I would probably do the ribbed instead, because that would expand more as baby grows and probably last you longer. So I'm kind of on the fence. Like I already own this pattern and I didn't find that there were loads of other patterns in the second booklet that I want to make. So I might just stick to this one and do a bigger size, or I might buy the new booklet, who knows. But yeah, these ones are high on my list. Next up is the Anchor suit, which I modified to have a zipper. Now this could be any kind of baby suit. This one is done in knitting for Olive cotton merino, and we use this a ton, both in the stroller and for carrying her. This has gotten a lot of wear. It does have some wear and tear on the inside of the legs because we jammed her into this until it didn't fit anymore. And I Again, I wish I had done this in a size bigger with a zipper as well, and I wish I had done one in plain merino wool in addition to the cotton merino, because this would have fit her longer, but it started getting too cold, I felt, for using just cotton merino. So this is incredibly soft, and just we use this so much. And I might also consider doing the legs even longer next time and doing the ribbing also longer, and maybe decrease more before starting the rib, just for the legs to fit more snug around baby's feet. I think that would have been a nice modification. I found that the arms were a nice length, but because they wear a diaper, everything is kind of pushed up, so the legs do become a bit shorter. I did this in the round and then I steeked it to save some time during the knitting, and this isn't like a perfect way of sewing in a zipper. I just sewed it in and took some of the yarn to make the edge less scratchy, but I figured she would probably never wear this right on the skin, so it wouldn't like scratch on her. She would wear something underneath, which I found was the case. So I found that it works. I didn't want to use loads of time knitting like a complete edging or doing anything like that. It looks fine. The zipper is also a bit short, but it really didn't matter. She would always wear something underneath anyways, and because this is more of a summer or like early fall piece, I find that it didn't really matter. And also it ensured that we wouldn't like zip it into her little neck, which is kind of nice when you are like a nervous first time parent. So yeah, this also quite high on my list. Then there are these pants. I have talked about them in my intentions video for this year, that I want to do more of these for when my girl starts kindergarten, just because they are really versatile. And that is the Enkel barnehagebukse. I'm not sure if you can get this pattern in English, but if you are proficient in Google Translate or know some Scandis, they will probably help you to translate the instructions for this. It is a ribbed pant. It does have this, what do you call them? Like you knit 5 or 6, and then you alternate between doing a knit and a purl on every other row or round, which makes this nice, gives this nice pattern in the pants. And because they are ribbed, they are really stretchy, and these lasted for so long. I think I could still fit my daughter in this, even though she's 6 months now, and this is the 0 to 3 month size, just because she was small, but it didn't look big on her. It would just like now expand quite a bit to fit her. So these are beautiful. We had 2, one pink and one blue, and they were just amazing. These are done in a cotton merino blend, I believe. Yeah, they're just really sturdy, really nice DK weight. Then we have this sweater that she has just started wearing. Now that she's bigger, I find that these rounded pieces fit her better, but preferably when they are in a fingering weight wool. So this is the Anchor's blouse, I believe, which is done in a fingering weight. This is knitting for olive merino in one of the blues. I think it's like dove blue, maybe. It's been a while since I made this, and it's just really beautiful, really versatile. We have just started using this because this is a 6 to 9 month size, I believe. So it's still a little bit big on her, but because it's a fingering weight, she can wear it. I still haven't given this a button. It's supposed to close with a button in the back. I just haven't gotten around to it. She still wore it though. It was fine. It was okay. And this, something like this, a fingering weight, is perfect inside of a DK weight pant. So if you are gift knitting, something like this would also make a really good set if you want to knit a set. Now the last pair of pants are the pants from the Ellen suit by Petite Knit. It is a quite simple DK weight pant, really versatile. Yeah, nothing too much to say about it. It has some elastic in the top. It's just a really versatile piece. We have quite a few of these in different sizes. I think I have one here. This red version, this dark blue, and I've knit these in both cotton merino blends, in Sunless Sunday, in like different kind of DK weight yarns, and I just find them really easy to just pop on. I do wish I had made at least one like DK weight pant in rib. I know that Drops Design has some free patterns. I saw Knitting Traditions doing one of them, where you knit like just this really long ribbed pant that you fold and you unfold as the baby grows, and I probably would have chosen one of those had I like done some more research beforehand. Then we have a few hats and bonnets. The Anchors bonnet I found really easy to wear. We have a few of these, both in the smallest size and this, which is the next size up, I believe. It's not like the one we would use all the time every day, but I have this in her diaper bag, and it's really good for when she falls asleep in the car and we need to just put something on her head because we're going out, or she has already fallen asleep outside and we are transferring her to the car. It's really easy to get on and off because of these ties. It's just easy to slide it off instead of like a balaclava that you have to pull across their face. Also, the baby bear bonnet is just adorable. We used these a lot. We have two, one in the smallest size and this in the next size up. But now that it's winter, we prefer using the baby bear balaclava, which goes all the way. She's wearing it now because she's sleeping outside, so I couldn't show it to you. But if you're knitting the baby bear balaclava, I would suggest sizing down to a 3mm needle instead of 3.5. It just makes it a bit more snug. And also I would recommend to knit the full length version because that has the neck that goes quite far down, and then it's easy to layer with like a suit, and you can have the neck going across so you don't have any gaps which make baby cold. The last thing I want to mention, the last thing, are blankets. Now, blankets are really handy. You need them. I have a few different ones. I have one that I've knit myself in merino wool that she's now using. So any kind of blanket, any kind of pattern, whatever, in merino wool, because it's really soft and can go on straight on their skin. So we used that a lot during the summer when she was a newborn, and she just needed something light on top of her when she was sleeping so she wouldn't get cold. I also have a lightweight fingering weight blanket done in Norwegian wool. That is probably too scratchy to use straight on skin, but we've used it on top of her when she's sleeping. We've used it in the car, anything like that. And the last blanket I use a ton is like a really thick wool blanket knit from all kinds of scrap yarn Norwegian wool, which I use across the top of the pram, not across the opening. You're not supposed to close the opening, but if she's sleeping outside and it's a light rain or drizzle or it is just snowing really lightly, I will use that blanket on the back of the pram to just isolate, insulate, not isolate, insulate, that's the word. Actually, I will go out and fetch it and show you because it's quite beautiful. This is the blanket I'm talking about, and this isn't a blanket pattern at all. This is actually supposed to be hanging on the wall as a decorational piece, and it comes from the book by Linka Nolman, which is called Villmarksinteriør in Norwegian, like wilderness interiors, I believe. It features loads of different patterns, and also this section of dogs, and I shortened their legs to so they would look more like corgis, because we have a corgi ourselves. And this is just done in all kinds of scrap yarns and all kinds of different tensions. It's knit in the round, and then I sticked it, so like the edges aren't really neat on the inside at all. I didn't do anything about them. And then I just picked up to make this edge. I found this a really practical size, both to put on top of the pram, as I mentioned, but also for me to sit on when I go outside and sit on like a bench or something. I've had my lunch outside, having a cup of coffee, done some knitting, and this just extended the time period which I was able to do that while walking with the stroller, which was really nice. I just love this grey, light grey color. So beautiful. So those are the stuff I would really recommend that we've gotten a ton of use out of. And this last thing is to knit. If you or your friends are getting newborn photos done, knit some kind of simple bloomer to just hide their diaper, because a lot of newborn photos are done without them wearing a lot of clothes, only maybe in their diaper. And just to have that little thing, even if you're using it once, you can get this out of like 30 grams of scrap yarn, I guarantee you. So that's like, and you do it in like an evening. Knitting for Olive have some, I believe. Petite Knit have some. Yeah, go on Ravelry and you will find tons of like little baby bloomers. I also wanted to share with you some of the things I missed or I wish I had done. The first one is to take my time and actually do more fingering weight knits. This is probably because my daughter was so small that I felt that the DK knits didn't fit before quite some while. Even like this Petite Knit Baby Bear, I think it's called Baby Bear, the Baby Bear sweater. This didn't fit her at all until she was quite big, and this is knit in the 3 to 6 month size, and now she is 7 months old. So she is still wearing it, and you know, I am going to get a lot of use out of it. She's going to be able to use this for quite some while, but a lot of the things I was kind of hoping would fit sooner, or that were knit in cotton merino blends, for instance, that I wanted to be able to wear in the early fall, didn't fit until the winter. So just think about those kinds of things and maybe opt for some fingering weights projects instead of DK weight if you are suspecting your kid may be a bit small. I should have known. I'm quite small. I did miss having a jacket in a cotton merino blend. We didn't have any of those. We did have at least one wool jacket, but this summer it was 30 degrees Celsius outside, so she couldn't really wear them. But at the same time, she's a baby, they are colder than us, so she needed something. So yeah, I just wished I had a jacket for layering. I do wish I had opted for knitting in more colors. Now she does have some colors like these blues and pinks, but there are loads of stuff in like these earthy toned shades. And they are beautiful colors, there's nothing about that, but she's a baby. Now I think babies should wear colors. They're much more fun than this earthy thing. If you enjoy it, of course, but if I am to ever knit for a baby number 2, I would probably re-knit some of my favorites in different sizes. Like I know that I want a seaside set in the next size up, and I would probably do that in a more fun color. And lastly, I probably should have knit more pieces that were ribbed instead of knitting so much. I have more than enough baby knits. There are tons of stuff she hasn't worn. One of the reasons is that I started making baby knits during the pandemic, so I could use my scrap yarn, or I could do smaller projects that wouldn't take that much time, just to have something to do during all of those Zoom meetings that I was doing. But I do wish I had made fewer pieces and rather like thought about the functionality of them and trying to make pieces that would last us longer. that's my takeaway from knitting for babies. Now, I don't know if these are the kinds of pieces you would want to make or if you would find these practical, but I would recommend doing some of them if you are knitting for babies. It's really fun knitting for babies. It's so cute, like everything is so small. So even if it is fingering weight on 3mm needles, it doesn't take that long, like in the big picture. I do hope you found this video useful. If you do, please leave a comment, thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, all of those good things. If you have any ideas for other baby knits that I didn't mention, something that worked really well for you, please leave it in the comments so we can like brainstorm really versatile baby knits, because I think we all need more ideas, and I would love to hear about patterns that I maybe haven't seen before. That would be really nice, and I hope you all found this video helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!